Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's Camo Dave here. What I'm trying to do here on my Dave Hughes channel is just some rants, and I want to keep them real short. You know, I don't want to have to sit and do a rant that goes for 20 minutes or something. Just to the point. Quick rants. Quick rants is what I got to do. Anyway, you know, I've lived 60 plus years and I've seen a number of, a lot of people pass away. When you get to be 60, you've seen your grandparents pass away. You often see your parents pass away, friends pass away. And this year, it's been, I don't know, 4 or 5 people that I've known as friends, have passed away. And some of them I've lost touch with over the years and haven't talked to in years, but hey, your good, friend that used to hang around with us at Starbucks 5-10 years ago, he's passed away, and somebody else, acquaintances, friends, and people you've lost touch with, and it's kind of almost like every couple weeks or months you hear of somebody, hey, so-and-so, remember him? He passed away, she passed away. Oh man, it just, it starts to add up, and it's like, you get to be 60-some years old like I am. I know I don't look a day over 39, but anyway, it's kind of the way life is. The interesting thing is, though, when a friend passes away, or even a relative passes away too, how you go through a set of emotions. There's instant shock, even if you're expecting the person's passing, even if they've been sick or they've been suffering from something, and that actual, when you hear it, so-and-so has died, it's still a shock, even if you're expecting it, it's going to happen, it's not coming out of the blue, it wasn't a car accident, it's something that just, is coming down the pike. Somebody's been battling a disease or a condition for many years, and you suddenly get that phone call or the email, so-and-so has bit the dust. Somebody told me this year, one of my friends. It's still a shock, like, oh, whoa, that you never get past that. And then you go through the emotions, and slow burn stuff that happens, I don't know, you have an instant flood of emotions when you hear the news, obviously, but then you go into slow burn other things, and it's interesting to see what kind of emotions you go through, sadness, of course, obviously, but it's interesting how you get like an anger, I don't know, when somebody I love passes away, and it's because of something they did, some choice they made in life. You know what I'm saying? My particular friend, I'm not going to mention any names here, but he passed away basically for, heavy drinking his whole life, And me and some of his relatives and some of his friends spent many years trying to help him. Getting him into programs, doing this for him, whatever. And nothing worked. Okay, let's just say that. Nothing worked. And for whatever reason, he went back to the drinking no matter what we did. He would sometimes stay off drinking for many months, but it would always come back, And that was that. And, we knew one day he would pass away because of all this. He knew it, I think. He was aware of it. He had doctors telling him, don't do this, stop this, change this. And he maybe did for a week or 2 or 3, and then he went right back to what he was doing. And again, the whole science of drinking and why people do it and why some people just can't stop doing it and why some people can do it moderately and have no problem with it and why other people they have to go totally overboard with it. It's, who knows? We can debate that with psychologists till the end of time. Nobody will ever understand that and all the reasons for that, whether it was your upbringing, whether it was genetics, whether it was, your body chemistry, whether it was your fault, whether it wasn't your fault. That's a whole can of worms you can get into with the whole addiction crap. But the feeling I'm just what my friend put everybody through those last few years, I mean, we really, we were hoping to help him, and then we were disappointed every time it failed, and we felt bad and we felt guilty because maybe there was something wrong we were doing. And it was just a whole mishmash of emotions, but it's kind of settled out as a certain kind of an anger. And it's an interesting life lesson that what you do in your life affects all those around you, okay? It does. It doesn't just affect you. And there are people that love you and people that care about you. And when you're doing something that maybe isn't the best thing to be doing, you're not just affecting you. You're affecting everybody around you. Affecting your, your wife, your husband, if you have one, your kids, your relatives, your friends. And, and there's anger there. There's a certain sense of anger, and that kind of survives past your passing away, People, I feel really sad about my friend. I feel really glad sometimes about my friend because we had a lot of good times. Deep down, I think he was a really nice person and a very generous person, but yes and no. He had a generous side, but he also had a very stingy side. And yeah, it's like every human being. There's a whole good-bad thing. Nobody's 100% good. Nobody's 100% bad. And I have a kind of an analytic mind where I can kind of see that in people. But I just kind of, not unexpected it, but I'm just wake up more mornings and I say, oh, my friend's gone. And I'm angry. I'm kind of angry that, he did what he did and he didn't do what he should have done, and he could still be here maybe today. And I'm kind of angry about all the stuff he put me through and he put all of his relatives through to really no avail. And, that's just going to be something I got to live with. But it's a life lesson maybe with my life to think, hey, people love me and I have friends. And what I do regarding my life affects them too. And do I want to put them through that, If it's, there's some things that are literally no fault of your own. I mean, things happen to us in life that we have no idea why they happen to us. You get in an accident of some sort that isn't your fault, or, you get a particular virus that you had no idea. There's so many things that can happen to you that can cause you to pass away that you really have no control over whatsoever. But there are some things that you can control to some degree. And, and when you pass away from something like that, it does leave a cloud over you and your relatives and your friends. And yeah, I feel angry. The more I think about my friend passing away, he was 65 and he lived a good life. He lived his life the way he wanted to live it, more or less. And there were a lot of good times knowing him, but I'm angry. I still feel like, why did he put me through all this? Why did he put his cousin through this? Why did he put his friends through this? We all cared about it and loved him. And when he passed away, part of us passed away too. And I'm still angry about that, not angry, but just kind of like, but it's an emotion there, and it's good to get in touch with your emotions because you don't want to keep your emotions bottled up, do you? But you also don't want to, you want to express your emotions in ways that aren't self-destructive either. So that's why I do a lot of walking, because I walk and I think and Anyway, I miss my friend deeply, and I'm very sad what happened to him. And I have some good feelings about all the good times we had together, and but I'm also a bit angry, that he kind of put us all through this, I don't know, man. It's good thought to think, we don't live totally isolated. At least most of us don't. Maybe that's why people become isolated, so that when they do what they want to do, they're not going to get everybody angry at them. I can kind of understand that. I'm just going to isolate myself now, and then whatever I do isn't going to affect other people. Yeah, I kind of maybe understand a little bit of that. It's kind of complicated, but that's life. Hey, thanks for watching. Vlogs Under.